Hello and welcome to February's monthly melt here on Chocolate Covered Games.
So this month to start, we used to do the news,
Mm-hmm.
but we know you're not coming to our channel for the news, considering you have a whole month of it.
Yeah.
And there's many other news outlets there for board games. So we came up with a new segment called Fives. And Fives is going to be our top fives of something. Could be anything board game related, non-board game related. So for this month, I decided what our fives would be. And I picked movies, because who doesn't love movies?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with Tim and his number five. And we already know that my top five would be better, but we'll start with his.
I got a pretty good top five. So my number five movie of all time is Dragons Forever. It's a 1989 or 1988 movie. It's not in English. It's one of Jackie Chan's fun action comedy kung fu movies. There's a ton of those out there, so it was really hard to whittle down which Jackie Chan movie I like the best. But it's definitely Dragons Forever. I think it has great action, has a decent plot. I mean, I'm not watching those movies for plots. I'm watching them for action and laughs. And it gives me both.
Okay.
So my number five is Dragons Forever.
I haven't seen it, but I know that you've watched every Jackie Chan movie last month. So
Pretty close. I'm missing like 22.
My number five is actually a tie, and he won't give me the tie, and he only put the one up.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the tie that he didn't put up, and that's Slapshot. I love Slapshot. It's hysterical. But we went with Major League from 1989. I love sports, love baseball. I just think it's a hysterical movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Thing, the storyline with the Cleveland Indians. And the TV edited version is almost better than the regular version, just because at the end with he strike this guy out, where they edit that. But it's hysterical, and just the characters in it. I love Charlie Sheen's character of Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn. Where'd you play before? The California Penal League. It's just great, and there's so many great lines to quote out of that movie. When Parkman hits the home run and guys in the outfield it's too high, too hard, and then they're arguing about it, and it's too high and too hard. So I just laughed the whole way through this movie. Love Major League. Fun fact, part of Major League 2 was filmed in Harrisburg at the Harrisburg Senators Stadium right down the road from us. So we sort of have a connection to that Major League franchise. That's my number five.
My number four is 1776. Released in 1972. It's a musical about the year, it's about the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Yep.
Follows James Adams, which
John Adams.
I don't know where I got James from. That's not even his son's name. His son's John Quincy.
Yes, but it follows John Adams.
Yeah.
And not the John Adams beer guy.
Yeah. My favorite musical of all time is a great movie adaptation of it. There's one song that you can't perform nowadays.
No.
At all.
Nope.
But it was an okay song.
Yeah.
It's not even the best song in the musical, so I didn't care.
Sit Down, John. It's my favorite.
Lisa, Virginia.
Yeah, that's up there. Sit Down, John's a good one.
But yeah, it's a good way to trick kids in learning slight history. It's not the most accurate, but it's fun.
If I would have added movie musicals to my list, 1776 is my second favorite musical of all time. That's a great choice.
Yeah. So that was my number four, 1776.
And my number four came out in 1989, and that is the movie Glory. Just an outstanding Civil War movie. Matthew Broderick in it. Does a wonderful job. Morgan Freeman in it, wonderful job. And just the history and the heart wrenching story, of what those soldiers went through, and I want to say that the reason I love this movie, the first time I saw it was actually on the battlefield at Gettysburg, and it pulled me in. And that whole last scene where they're at Fort Wagner, and nobody wants to take the lead in going up against or leading in the fight into the fort there. And when they breach the wall and they're running through the fort, and that last scene, they get there and they stop dead in their tracks, and they get fired on, and then just that ending where there's that mass grave, and Matthew Broderick's character is rolled down into it on top of all of the soldiers that he led. Just so heart-wrenching, and such an amazing history story. And right now, unfortunately, that area of land is underwater. But if you've never seen Glory, it's a great story of a sad time period. But that's my number 4, Glory.
Yep. My number 3 goes in a slightly different direction of all this sad doom and gloom. And Tommy Boy, the 1995 comedy with the classic duo of David Spade and Farley. Out of all the Chris Farley movies, I think Tommy Boy is easily my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Sheep's okay, and
it's not as good as Tommy Boy.
Beverly Hill Ninjas, but Tommy Boy's it.
Yeah.
I mean, between the road trip,
the deer in the car.
Deer in the car is a great thing. When they're at the diner and he's talking to the waitress.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a great comedy that I can put on and laugh time and time again. So it's one of the few comedies I'll keep watching.
Yeah, and that duo is just
Yeah.
awesome together.
So, yeah, Tommy Boy's my number 3. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
All right. So my number 3 goes back to baseball, and that's 1988's Bull Durham. Love Bull Durham. Again, just baseball pulled me in. The storyline of the minor leagues, because we live close to a minor league city. The AA franchise. And just that story of the career minor leaguer and the star power that was in this movie. Susan Sarandon, Kevin Costner, Tim Robbins, Robert Wool, and the lines, you lollygag the first. I love that, and it's a fun-loving take on minor league baseball. The scene where they're on the mound and discussing what, his gloves cursed, his dad's here, what do you get them for their wedding gifts? Candlesticks is nice. Or, throw the ball at the mascot. It's that classic 1980s minor leagues, and you can't beat it. And so that's my number 3, Bull Durham.
Okay, we'll skip over my number 2 because that comes later down your list. Okay. So we will talk about your number 2.
My number 2, again, another baseball movie. Surprise, surprise. Field of Dreams from 1989. Man, what can you say about Field of Dreams? Great father-son story. He plows under the cornfield, builds a baseball field. comes back. His dad's ghost comes back. He gets to play catch with him. And he goes on the road trip and finds Moonlight Graham, James Earl Jones's character. This year, I guess in 2020, they're supposed to actually play a major league game at the Field of Dreams, but they're going to do that here in 2021. Again, great baseball movie. It's a little sappier than Bull Durham and Major League. But
would you consider Field of Dreams a fantasy movie since it has ghosts in it?
No.
A horror movie because it has ghosts in it?
No, not a horror movie. Okay, maybe fantasy. I'll go. If I gotta choose between fantasy and horror,
because it wouldn't be sci-fi. I don't consider ghosts sci-fi. I mean, I guess you could have alien ghosts.
But it's definitely a heartwarming movie. So then I guess
it's my number one.
Okay, it's your number one.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So my number one is a Goofy movie from 1995. This shows how much of a 90s child I am. I love this movie. Goofy is one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. And when I first saw this, I was very confused why Goofy had a kid. And I'm like, why does Goofy have a kid? But I find his parenting very endearing to me because he really wants to connect with this child. And if no other reason to watch this movie, watch it for the fake artist Powerline in the movie. There's 2 great songs in this movie that I will still listen to today. Eye to Eye is on my playlist. You wouldn't know this. Great song. Go listen to it. But Goofy movie it's my top movie of all time. I love the movie. It's ridiculous. They go on a road trip. They run to Bigfoot. They come across a possum amusement park. Yeah, there's an amusement park dedicated to possums. It's like the Country Bears, but possums.
Form?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a road trip we'd take.
Yeah, it's great. So if you've never seen a Goofy movie, out of all my movies on the list, this is the one you should go watch first.
And is this the newest movie on both lists?
Well, it's tied with Tommy Boy. They both came out in 1995.
Okay. So that's showing something that all our movies are 1995 and older.
So what's that? 25 years? In 25-year span, no movie's overthrown my top 5 spot.
Okay.
But there's been a lot of good movies in those past 25 years.
So my number one, greatest movie of all time.
Which was my number 2. Why we skipped it.
1993's Gettysburg. Man, if you have not seen this movie, you are missing out. Yes, it's long.
It is.
It's like 3 hours.
I think it's like 4 hours and 2 minutes.
It's long.
It's up there.
But if I'm flipping channels and it's on, I will stop no matter what part of the movie, and I will watch it to the end. Mm-hmm. Story of the 20th Maine and how they saved the world. If you're a history buff like me, yeah, you know that the 20th Maine did do a lot, but at that point in time, a lot of people didn't read and write, so whoever could write sort of wrote the history.
Yeah.
So Joshua Chamberlain was literally, he was a professor afterwards, but they did do a lot. You know, that whole end of the fish hook down at Little Round Top, Big Round Top. You know, that was an important part of the second day. I have my own theories on what happened or should have happened that day or what they were trying to do. Mm-hmm. But Sam Elliott as Buford, just it's a great Civil War movie. You know, Pickett's Charge. I got to be part of that during a Boy Scout camp out. We didn't know we were actually going to be part of that, and I got to do the whole thing and get across and over the wall, even though it was so blasted hot that I wish they would have handed me a card to fall down. But just powerful movie. And if you've ever been to Gettysburg, mm-hmm. you know, it's pretty cool to be able to stand there and walk. And we actually know somebody in the movie.
Yeah.
One of our teachers was in the movie.
Yeah. And I made my top five based on the score. The music in Gettysburg is fantastic. It's one of the first. It's one of the few cassette tapes I remember us owning. Also, to date me from not only being a '90s child, as I remember cassettes that we had. I remember the little briefcase that we had all our cassette tapes in.
We still have it.
It's somewhere.
And I still have the cassette tape. I know where it is.
Yeah. But excellent score. It really heightens everything in the movie.
Yeah.
When they're marching, the music's more peppy because you feel it moving forward. When the battle's happening, it's more robust and louder. When there's moments of quiet, the music almost comes to a hush. Really elevates the movie, the score of this musical.
Yeah.
Well, not musical, movie.
Yeah. And I think part of why it's number one for me is just I love history. I love Civil War history. We live close to Gettysburg. I've been there multiple times. And going down and standing on that battlefield, and when I watch the movie, connecting it to that, and just putting myself in that time. But yeah, whenever we go to Gettysburg, I do think of the music, as we're driving around there. But definitely check it out if you've never seen it. It's worth the time. Gods and Generals, the sequel, prequel. It's a lot longer and slower. So if you had to choose between the two, Gettysburg's it. So that's our fives for the first time here. So leave in the comments who you think had the better five, and it was definitely mine.
Yours didn't have Goofy on the list.
Well, Charlie Sheen's sort of goofy now.
Yeah.
But yeah, leave in the comments who you thought had the better five. Leave your top five movies. And if you have a top five that you'd like to suggest and see us try to put together, leave that in the comments.
Next, we'll move on to Kickstarters, where we'll start with Doug's Kickstarter.
Starting with mine?
Yep.
So mine is Mob Big Apple from TGG Games, which is the gaming goat.
Yep.
They're actually a store, I believe, like out in the Vegas area or something like that. But that's more...
They're out west somewhere.
Yeah,
I know that.
they're a store. So Mob Big Apple is a two-player game, which is sort of what drew me to it to start. And it's area control, area majority, which we don't play a lot of. It's not just a game mechanic that we use a lot of.
Yeah.
But this looked interesting because there's dice allocation. You roll the dice, and so let's say you roll a 1 and a 3. You can place 3 members on the 1 area, or 3 of your gangsters on the 1, or 1 on the 3. And so you're allocating and trying to control that area, and then you're putting other gangsters on the action board, and what you're moving the district attorney to try to get him to, catch the other guys. And then at the end of the round, you sort of move all your guys into the center of these boards, and you have a shootout, and you're trying to, gain the contraband or the containers there. And you have moles, and the production looks great. I like the artwork. So, that's sort of what drew it to me, was that it was a 2-player area control, which, again, we don't play a lot of, but there aren't a lot of just 2-player area control games.
No.
So that sort of drew me in, and the artwork. And they did Black Sonata, I think, was one of their games that I played a couple times, and it was good. So I figured, why not take a look at another TGG game and really look at this.
Right. So that game was Mob Big Apple.
Mob Big Apple.
Yep. My monthly Kickstarter this month is a little different. It is Fantasy Adventure Candles. I thought I'd switch it up a bit. It piqued my interest. They claim that their candles last, 6 times longer than normal candles. These are meant to be lit while you're doing your D&D adventures or Pathfinders or Midnight Vampire, whatever RPG you're rolling with. They're all different smells.
What about my golf RPG?
Well, I guess you could use, I think the red one there with the cross is called Revivify. When after you hit so many balls into the water, you just want to give up and start a new life. Their smells are supposed to be match the mood. So like Revivify is cinnamons and honeys, and there's like Dragon's Breath, which is like musk and leather.
Say like sulfur.
Yeah. It would have been a bold choice from them. I wish they would have done that.
Here, I'm going to light this candle. It's going to smell like sulfur in here.
If you want to feel like you're next to a dragon, why not?
I imagine that's what dragon's fire breath would smell like.
Yeah. I'll never know. But yeah, they have, I think, up to 6 or 8 candles currently. I know they're looking to unlock 2 more. They're interesting. I don't know if this is one that people on our channel will back. Maybe we have a big candle contingency. I hope we do. If you're out there, keep it lit. I'm assuming that's what candle fans say.
Yep.
Not.
Instead of see you later, it's keep it lit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's another group.
It could be multiple groups. I mean, I'm trying to get into the candle contingency on the internet.
Yeah, but I'm not going candle-wise there.
I'm sure there's that smell candle as well. It's becoming legal in New York this month, according to hopefully what news say, to raise money for the state. But mine was Fantasy Adventure Candles. Check it out and keep lit. I don't know. I'll get that caught on with the candle community.
There you go. Go to the candle shop that's up the road from us. And
see if
people leave, be like, hey, keep lit.
I'll suggest that to the owner. Be like, say this when they're walking out the door. They'll get a smile from them.
There you go.
But those were our monthly Kickstarters. So please check them out. Support them if you like them. If there's a Kickstarter that you think that was interested, leave it in the comment. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
Next up, we got our play of the month. And this month, we went with Road West by TMG Games, which is Tasty Minstrel Games. So rolling, right?
Yeah, I think there wasn't enough of a game there. Because you had to concentrate on one thing. So you had these, the board's upside down here. You had areas to control like forest and mountains, and I forget what the other ones were. And then you had
contracts.
That's what this area is. The contracts, and then the other was like delivery.
Yep.
And you almost had to concentrate on the contracts. If you didn't concentrate on contracts, you weren't gonna win.
I disagree. I didn't concentrate on contract and I whooped you. I concentrated on the city or the town, where it gives you the bonus for everything.
No, on the contracts up here.
These were the contracts.
Oh, not okay. Yeah, so not the contracts.
Boomtown.
Yeah, the town area. That if you do not concentrate on that, you will lose.
Yeah, because that's all about scoring at the end, all your points.
That is all, like, if you have the most of this, you get this score plus this bonus.
Yeah. Because I think I beat you alone in Boomtown points in that game.
Yeah. And again, it's luck of the roll, because your first roll, your first 2 rolls, you actually completed 2 of the deliveries.
Yep.
And so there you already got the top points in that.
Yep.
And then, because of how you were able to bank than what I had or what the dummy player had, you bought those towns that went with that. So, and I liked it, but I couldn't.
Is it the best rolling right out there? Probably not.
No.
Was it decent? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's up to the dice, but that's all rolling rights. It's up to the dice.
Yeah.
I think if you took out the town, which clearly is an OP mechanic in this game.
Yeah. I mean, because when he bought one of those, I can't buy it then because I have to cross it out.
Yeah, because it's buying bonus points, and that's all.
And So because he was able to purchase them before I was, all I could do was bank so I could bank one of the either gold, silver, whatever, and hope to buy contracts, but that wouldn't give me enough points because the delivery I was already out because you had the top of everything there.
Yeah.
I still could have got a couple points, but you had the bonus points in that. I rolled nothing to get the areas down at the bottom, the woods, or to build anything there. So there was no way I could possibly have won that game.
No.
Because you controlled so much of the town. But again, it's a roll and right, and it's luck of the dice.
I will say the AI mechanic for a 2-player was fine because it stayed out of the way.
Yeah, the AI third player was basically you just rolled 3 dice, and you picked one of those if you wanted to bank one of those gold, silver, copper, or wood. And, sometimes we didn't even have to roll that player because we'd bank one of our rolls.
Yeah.
So the AI player, I thought, for this worked well.
Yeah. But all said and done, if somebody wants to play it roll and right, I guess I would suggest it to them because, it is well contained. It does have a nice scoring mechanism, sheet to break everything down.
It's a beginner roll and right.
Yeah.
If I'm suggesting a roll and right to somebody that knows, I'm doing welcome to.
Well, welcome to's not rolling right. It's a flipping right. That's cards.
True. Yeah.
It's not rolling
I was saying rolling right. Yeah. So.
No, the one that we played where it's like ancient times was pretty. It started with a C. Where you're like in Rome. You get goats and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. I forget what
Korea.
that was. I forget what that one was.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I think this game would have been bad if you take out the rule where if one person buys one of the boom towns, the person has to take it out. If anybody can buy boom towns, I think that would make the game a little bit more level.
And I think maybe with 4 players.
Yeah,
with 3 or 4 players.
But then you're Xing out a lot faster.
But then it isn't one person that's buying it all.
That's true.
It would be split up amongst people.
So yeah, maybe 3 to 4 physical players would make it better. If you're playing with 2, I think I would make it where anybody can buy boom towns even if they've already been bought.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Rolled West by Tasty Minstrel Game.
Yeah.
If you see it out there in the wild,
give it a shot.
Yeah. I don't know where they see it.
If you're rolling down the road and it's laying along the street there, pick it up and play it.
Yeah. Just don't drive by.
Yeah. Or if you're hiking through the woods and it's, leaning against the tree staring at you.
Don't question it, just play.
Yeah.
So
play with Sasquatch.
Yep. And lastly, we'll move on to our last segment because this monthly melt is it's not going that great to begin with, and you're still with us probably.
Probably not, but if you are, thank you.
Yeah. The last thing today is
no unicorn.
No, because I try to keep the off-topic picture in focus with what it was. Unicorns really went with sports.
Okay.
Like a team mascot.
All right.
So based off this picture, what do you think
how did you know I was going to go with sports last month?
Well, I just assumed it would match my picture. I took a wild guess.
My guess is your off-topic is milkshakes.
Close. Crazy straws.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep a couple days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, and all I was thinking about was crazy straws, like you would get like when you go to the circus and whatnot, like the 4-foot long loopy straws that you use once. They're about 5 pounds, made of the most plastic known to man.
Those ones, the ones where you can swing it and they make a whistle.
Yeah,
those are awesome.
I'm not talking because they didn't have a good picture of that, so I went with bendy straws.
Yeah, but the bendy straw where it's the regular straw part, and there's like the 15-inch bendy part where you can loop it like 8 times. Yeah. Those are awesome.
They did classify those as crazy straws. That's how I got this picture. But yeah, I think it kept me awake at night because, there's animals that are going to die out in my lifetimes that will become extinct, and, countries that have been brand new since I've been born. But I thought, man, crazy straws are going to be something that dies out in my generation.
You think?
Absolutely. Well, they're
trying to get rid of plastic straws.
And crazy straws are plastic straws on steroids because they're 3 times as much plastic. You use them once because you can't clean them.
No.
You can use them more than once, but you're probably not good for your health.
If it goes right from drink to drink.
Yeah. So
You can use it twice right in a row.
So I was thinking, man, if I'm lucky enough to live to be like 80, I'm gonna be like, I wish I could get a crazy straw because they're making straw alternatives. I found the paper straws they make.
They're terrible. I don't like paper straws at all.
Because I've tried them. They're not bad.
I don't like them. I'll drink without a straw.
The other alternatives I found were straws made from straw.
Okay.
Well, it makes sense. It's called straw, and hay is
I
hollow.
know, but I wouldn't drink from that.
What? It's just grass. Pasta straws. It's just pasta.
Like rigatoni?
Well, no, it's extracted like you would.
So like that long piece of rigatoni.
Yeah, essentially.
I'm all for that.
But
what are you drinking out with that? Sauce?
Well, your drink. But I was looking up alternative crazy straws to see if they had like paper crazy straws.
And the best alternative straw is a Twizzler.
Yeah, but there's no alternative crazy straw.
No, I don't like Twizzlers.
Yeah. There's no alternative crazy straws out there that aren't made from plastic.
Well, yeah, like the paper ones wouldn't bend.
Yeah.
They just like bend in half.
Your closest one would be the pasta, and I would have to get in contact with these pasta people and be like, hey, pasta straw makers, make pasta crazy straws for the kids that want crazy straws.
They can do it.
Well, yeah, of course they can do it. I just said they could. I have that much faith in these people.
Why don't you get on that?
Because that's not my fortune to be made. I found one alternative for a crazy straw out there that's not plastic. And it's like the ones on the picture here that they consider the bendy straws. It's made by Tiffany's, the jewelry place.
It's glass?
It's sterling silver. Yeah. It costs $275 for a sterling silver bendable straw.
But you'd have to have like a pipe cleaner.
It comes with a sterling metal cleaner tool.
I don't know if I'd like that. Wouldn't your beverage taste like metal? See, I've never used a metal straw.
Well,
but it's sterling, so it's not like...
There's very few things I drank out of that were metal. When I was in college, I had a pewter cup that said not for drinking out of, and I drank out of constantly.
Well, that would be the issue.
And I drank like acidic stuff out of there constantly, which is probably even worse. And my professor was like, Tim, you know that cup's for show. I'm like, it's a cup. I'm using it.
So I wonder...
And it kind of tasted metally.
I wonder if you talked to the glass blower at the Ren Fair we went to.
I don't think I would want a glass straw.
Why not?
Think if it would like break in my mouth, like if I wasn't
you chomping on it?
If I wasn't paying attention.
You get it like where it's thick, like the pasta straw. You get it like super thick.
Well, the pasta straw wasn't thick. It was normal straw.
Okay, but
dimension.
You get it made like really thick. You know, where it wouldn't break if you just chomped out. Again, who's chomping on a straw?
Well, people chomp
I do
on
chew
plastic.
on plastic straws.
Exactly, it's a habit.
Yeah. But I'm not chomping on glass.
Because you don't have a glass straw. If you do, it'd be force of habit.
I wonder if the guy can make that.
I would think it would collapse. I would almost have to imagine the'd be no
way.
way.
He makes those little wands.
That's but they're not hollow.
Are you sure?
I would imagine they would be. I'm assuming those.
Well, like he makes those blown pumpkins.
Yeah, but that's a pumpkin.
Now I've got to ask him when we go this fall.
But I would want him to make a glass crazy straw because I'm not interested in glass straw. Straws are boring. That's why we've invented crazy straws and bendable straws.
I bet you he could bend it like a couple times.
If he could make a bendy straw out of glass, that'd be more.
Not like
that would be impressive. Make me some bendable glass.
Well, if you heat it, it's bendable.
Yeah.
And then drink out of it right away.
Yeah, so definitely think crazy straws are... How many more years until crazy straws are outlawed in America?
Whenever they outlaw plastic straws.
Well, there's some states that have. It's not nationwide.
Well, when it becomes nationwide, I'm going to say like 2040.
2040 is no more crazy straws?
I don't know.
It's got to be sooner than that. We're in, 2021 now?
Yeah.
2026 at the latest.
I don't know. I think big plastic will have a say.
But then I always question, if we're banning plastic straws, all these places that you get your fast food from come in plastic cups with plastic lids.
And plastic straws.
Yeah.
Wait, are they plastic cups? No, they're paper cups.
Well, if you get the big enough size, they're plastic.
Some are.
And then the little top thing.
I know the ones at Popeyes aren't plastic.
I don't know.
Considering we had one.
But the thing you put
just go.
But the thing you put on top of your cup is
plastic.
Yeah.
It's a lid.
So eventually that has to go away.
Glass.
Well, they just won't offer it to you without a straw. You'll just have to drink like a normal cup, like everywhere.
Let's just go back to pottery jugs.
You gotta bring. Why not? Why not have a wine sack when you go into your local McDonald's? Let me fill up my deerskin sack with some sweet Coca-Cola. I'm off into the woods. Hey, look what I found over there. Roll West. Better play it. I heard it from this great YouTube site, Chocolate Covered Games. They said if I find that in the woods, I should play it. You watch that Goofy movie yet? Sure did. Love the part when they went to that possum theme park. It was fantastic.
Oh, and with that, if you're still watching this mess, thank you.
Yeah. Please like this video. Please like this video. All of our videos. Leave a comment down below about off topic you'd like to talk about, because this is the kind of off topic you'll get when I get to choose.
And believe it or not, this is a conversation that we have at our house.
Yeah.
We discuss stupid things like this.
Yeah. Keep us from stop us from discussing stupid things on the internet. That's your job, fan base. I'm counting on you. I know there's 28 subscribers to this channel. At least one of you can step up and not make us sound stupid. Probably.
Or make us sound more insane.
Yeah, I can sound stupid.
The choice is yours.
So thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I always get aggressive with the internet.
That's got to be like our longest one yet.
No, I only clocked in at 41 minutes. Our longest is like
39.
Yeah.